Good afternoon. One of the new features we added to CabWriter is the ability to add a back panel to any set of cabinets. I'm going to use this L-shaped island to show you how to do that. So let's go around back here. And you'll notice that this was designed to go up against a wall, but since this is an L-shaped island, in this case, I'm going to show you how to add back panels. But first we have to prepare it. You'll notice that this trim sticks out a ½ inch. We need it to stick out the same thickness as the back panel we're going to put on. And the back panel is 13/16 of an inch. Same as the face frame. So first thing we're going to have to do is bring this out a little bit. And so I'll do that right now. It's pretty easy. You choose this, right click, unlock it, right click again, edit component. And since it's a ½ inch now, which is 8/16, and we want it 13/16, we have to pull it out another 5/16. And now it should be out 13/16, and we'll just check that. Okay, the other thing is we want a miter joint here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select just this edge here, that one right there. And I'm going to move it with the move tool. I'm going to move it inwards 13/16. There we go. And let's just check it. That should give us a perfect 45-degree angle. And we can measure that to be sure. It's not quite, so we didn't do it quite right. So let me do it again. That should be it right there. And we'll measure it again one more time. Now it's 45 exactly. Okay, so now we have our miter. We can get out of edit component mode. And we're going to have to do that to this one over here too, so we might as well do it right now. We'll unlock it, edit component. First we have to bring it out 5/16. And then we're going to move that line in that'll give us a perfect miter. And that should be it. I'm going to check it. We don't want any mistakes. And looking in the VCB, it's perfect 45 degrees. Okay, so let's get out of edit component mode. So just to help ourselves here a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to go to this point right here, the tip of that 45 degree, and I'm going to go over to this tip. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me this point right here. And let me show you why that's going to be important. I'm going to go immediately to the new tool, and you'll find it right here. It looks like a back panel, and it's called Create a Back Panel. And the way you use it is quite simple. Use the rectangle tool, go to this bottom point here, and go to this point right there. And now I have this back panel. Let me get rid of this. I'm sorry, just the face. That's all I want to get rid of at the moment. And I'm going to go and clear all layers and get rid of these as well. All right, so what I've got now is just the back panel. So if I go to show all layers, I've got the back panel. Now the question is, that's a back panel, but how many mid styles in the back panel do I want? Well, I can either add them at any spacing I want, or I can decide how many I want to add here. And I'm sort of going to pick a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pick a number like 6. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pick this top line. And let me clear everything else out here so you can see this. I'm going to pick this top line. I'm going to right click on it and say divide. And notice right now it's dividing by 4, but in the VCB, I'm sorry, by 3. But in this VCB, I can type 6. Enter. Now what I've got is I have a midpoint, an endpoint. I have 6 endpoints. So I'll go from here down to the bottom along the blue axis on edge, find my other endpoint, go to the bottom, find my other endpoint, go to the bottom, and I keep doing this until I get all of them. All right, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. And now all I need to do is look at the extended entity info. I'm sorry, look at the CabWriter settings. Look in the Panels tab. And back panel style can either be the same style as the doors, or you can specifically choose flat panel or slab. I'm going to choose flat panel, which is the same as the doors right now. And I'm choosing miter because that's the kind of joint I want. And so I'll close this. And now it's a simple matter of triple clicking, clicking on this create a back panel. Before I do this, what I want to know is what is the name of the cabinet I'm attaching it to. If I look in the entity info and choose one of those components, I can look over here and see that it's cabinet 2L. It's a base cabinet 2. So again, I'm going to click on this and then click the new tool. And so I want to type in here C2L, capital C, 2, capital L, and hit OK. And it says, is the selected cabinet the one that you wish to add the back panel to? Well, that's this cabinet over here. So I say no. And it says undo the create back panel, then select your back panel faces again and type in the correct number. Well, I'll hit return, or I'll hit undo, click this back panel again, and apparently it's C1L that I want. So I hit OK, and it says, is this the cabinet you want to select, or you want to add the back panel to? And I'll say yes. And there you go. I have my back panel. And notice that I've got a nice miter joint there. I have 6 evenly spaced panels. And now I can do the same thing to this one. Noticing that this is, I'm going to assign this one to C2LB1, or just C2L. So what I'll do is I'll take my rectangle tool, And I'll make sure I've got that where I want it, right on that tip and right on that tip. And it looks like I'm going to want maybe 3 panels here. 4 might be a little narrow. We'll try 3. And so I'm going to select this top line and say divide. And this time I'm going to say 3. And hopefully that's what it gave me. It should be about here. Endpoint. And it should be about here. Endpoint. All right. Now I just select the whole thing. I type C1L. And that's wrong. I wanted C2L. So I'll undo. This time I'll type C2L. And I'll say yes, that's the cabinet I want to assign it to. And there we go. Notice I have a nice set of back panels. And have a good day.